like to sit on a pillow or a bolster, but you can also sit on a block, whatever feels more comfortable for you, whatever you have obviously accessible to you. And once you are there, go ahead and maybe shrug the shoulders a little bit up towards your ears if that feels okay. Create just a little more tension there so you notice it. And take a deep breath out, let them soften. And if you need any movement in the neck here, you can take it. So maybe it's one ear to one side and the other ear to the other. If you need a little bit of a roll of the neck, maybe it's chin to your chest and then rolling your head side to side. And then find your neutral. So just notice where the weight of your head as it lands right on top of your spine. Is it drawing a little further forward? If so, maybe think about drawing the chin slightly back so then the weight of your head can just be slightly effortless as you sit up a little bit taller. Allow the eyes to close if that feels okay. Just taking this moment to pause and maybe just notice your breath, maybe for the first time all day. Notice that natural rhythm, the ebb and the flow that just exists. And as you start to notice it, can you manipulate it just a little bit? So starting to lengthen your next inhale. And soften a little bit more on your exhale. So just inviting in a little more ease with each breath. So again, breathe in a little bit longer. Breathe out also maybe a little bit longer. So take a few more rounds just playing with that. So can your inhale get a little bit bigger? Can you become just a little more full, feeling the chest expand? And on your exhale, you soften something, maybe where you're holding a little bit of tension that you're just now noticing. And as you start to soften, maybe the things around you start to soften a little bit more, and you start to draw inward, maybe you start to think of something you'd like to bring to mind, something you'd like to cultivate a little bit more of today. I like to pick one word. And so that word might be patience or presence, like being right here just as you are. Maybe it's a little bit of courage or breath or strength, whatever it is, just keep that word in your mind. Take a deep breath in. And then open up your mouth, letting out a nice sigh, slow sigh out. Do that one more time. Breathe in and sigh out. So nice. And then, of course, if you would like to sit in just a still, comfortable seat here, stay as long as you need. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly start to blink your eyes open. If it feels okay, start to lift your chin, lift your face up, stretch the front of your throat. And then as you exhale, chin towards your chest. And as you do that, start to lean back a little bit and round your shoulders forward and think about stretching that space in between your shoulder blades. Maybe you find a little bit of movement here. And then on your inhale, rock forward. Your shoulders will go back, maybe even squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit together and then lift your face, lift your chin. So this movement gets a little bit bigger. And then as you exhale, again, start to lean back, chin to your chest, round like you would in cat pose. Do that one more time. Inhale rocks you forward. Lift the chin, lift the face. And then exhale, you rock back. You round in. Awesome. And then you'll sit up right in the middle, start to reach your arms overhead. If that feels okay. And then as you exhale, twist towards the right. So left hand towards your right knee or your thigh. Your right hand can reach behind you, maybe even look over towards your fingertips. And then inhale back up through center. And then twist to your degree to the left. It doesn't have to be big here, just enough to turn the neck. And then you'll start to reach back up, take a deep breath in. And then you'll walk your hands forward. You can move that block or pillow or bolster out from underneath you. And meet me in hands and knees, tabletop pose. So your hands will come right underneath your shoulders. And spread your fingers nice and wide apart. And your toes can be tucked or untucked. It's your choice. Once you're there, take a breath in to lift your face, lift your chin, maybe even start to let the belly drop down, finding cow pose. And then as you exhale, press into your hands, round your back, chin to your chest, cat pose. So just like you did in a seat, you have 2 more rounds of that. So slow breath in to find cow. Slow breath out to find cat. Keeping that same awareness of your breath. So long inhale, ease on your exhale. And start to then rise up onto your knees. You're going to walk your hands up your thighs here. And then just step your right foot forward. So you're coming into a lunge. And start to reach your arms overhead. Deep breath in. And if you need to, bend the elbows like goalposts here. That might feel really nice. And then take a breath in, lift your chin, lift your face. And if you haven't yet, then bend the elbows. We all meet there. And take a breath in to then open up through the chest a little. And then as you exhale, bring your forearms together in front of your face and just round in a little bit here. Do that one more time. Inhale, open up. And then exhale to round. So nice. Now one more inhale just to open up here. And then start to bring your right knee back to meet your left. Walk your hands back to hands and knees. 1 round of cat-cow. Take a breath in, drop your belly, lift your chest. And then exhale, press into your hands, round your back, drop your head. So nice. Now send your right leg behind you. Let it float hip height just for a moment. Now, if you want an added challenge here, just an option, you can send your left hand forward. So a little spinal balance here. Take a breath in and out. So nice. And then drop that left hand down. You'll tuck your right toes onto the ground and then press back through your right heel. Get that stretch in the calf. And you'll spin that right heel down. Now, if you want, you can grab your block and place it underneath your left hand just for a little bit of lift or support here. Your right arm can reach up towards the sky if that feels okay. Keep pressing down into your right foot. Reach your right hand alongside your ear. Take one more breath in, reach back up. And you'll start to rise all the way up. Keep your arms nice and long. And then your right hand drops down, left arm will rise into gate pose. And start to bring your arms back like a T and then cartwheel them down. You'll pick that right leg up for a moment and then start to bend your right knee. Take a breath in, press the sole of your right foot up. And then snug your right knee behind your left. You'll take your feet a little bit wider apart. And then you can pull your hips back like you were coming into a child's pose, but your knees are crossed. So it's just a little bit of a stretch for your hip here. And if you want, you can start to drop your head down, maybe bringing chin towards your chest. Stay here, take a breath in and a breath out. Maybe one more round, softening the face. So nice. And then you'll start to come back forward, send that right leg behind you. And then come back to tabletop pose, hands and knees. A round of cat-cow, again, just to rinse it out. Drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the face. And then exhale to press into your hands, round your back, drop your head. And then it's back to neutral. Walk your hands back up your thighs. You'll rise up onto your knees and you'll step the left foot forward into a lunge this time. Reach arms up and overhead. And then bend the elbows wide like goalposts. So your palms are facing forward. And take a breath in to send your elbows, your forearms back, maybe lift your face. And then as you exhale, forearms come together and you just start to round in. It's just a little bit of a stretch in between the shoulder blades here. And then inhale to open up. And then exhale to bring it in. Last one, inhale, open up. Exhale, draw it in. Now you'll open up the chest one more time, nice and gentle. And bring your left knee back to meet the right. Walk your hands back to tabletop pose. Drop the belly, lift the heart. Inhale to cow. Exhale, press into your hands, round your back, cat pose. And then it's back to neutral. Send your left leg behind you. Let it float. About hip height. See if you can flex the ankle here. So like you were stamping your foot behind you, and then maybe reach the right hand forward if you'd like. Take one more breath in right here. And then your right hand drops down, tuck your left toes under and press back through your heel. Getting that stretch in the back of the leg. And you can spin that left heel down. That block can come underneath your right hand and you'll reach the left hand up. So you're opening up to the long edge of your mat. You can reach the left fingertips forward. One more big breath in here. So nice. And then you'll rise all the way up. And drop the left hand down. Right arm rises, gate pose. Finding that length all the way through the right side. One more breath in. And slowly bring the hands down. You'll pick that left leg back up, that three-legged tabletop, but bend through the left knee this time. Take one more breath in, and you'll snug that left knee behind the right, feet go wide apart, and then you'll just send your seat back. And if you'd like, you can drop your head. Soften through the face. Again, as you just start to maybe even soften through the shoulders, through the elbows. Stay for one more long inhale. Creating a little more ease on your exhale. And you'll shift back forward. Send that left leg behind you for a moment. And then set the left knee next to the right. One round of cat-cow here. Drop the belly, lift the heart. And then exhale to round. So nice. Again, walk your hands up your thighs. You'll rise up. And you'll step your right foot forward back into a lunge. So your final round here, we're just going to take a little bit different of an approach. You're going to reach your right hand, reach both hands up towards the sky. And then your right hand, let it grab your left wrist. And then you can start to almost bend your elbows to create a little bit of an O around your head here. And then using the grip of your right hand on your wrist, maybe start to tip your torso over to the right a little. You can find that length through the left side. You can press down through your right foot. Great, and then you'll rise up. So take your hands to your thigh for a moment. Your back foot, your left foot, is going to turn over towards the right side of your mat. So you're just going to turn it over. And you might even wiggle walk that right foot in a little. And take your arms out to the side. So you're facing the long edge of your mat. It's like a modified warrior two. Now you can, if you want, reverse warrior here. Right arm will rise. And then find extended side angle or modified extended side angle. So your right forearm can rest with your palm up like you were holding a plate. And then your left hand can reach above your head as you start to almost tip forward here. So just another way to find that length through the left side, or creating a little more space in the torso today. And then you'll come back up, arms out like a T. Now bringing both hands in front of you. So you're still facing the long edge of your mat. You'll bring both hands in front of you and then start to take that leg nice and long. We're going to take another bit of a stretch, different one in the lower body. And then you can start to bring that heel down and the toes lift up. Now drop your hands down, maybe off to the side of your mat, right? You're going to keep the toes lifting up here. Now rock your weight forward. So think your heart goes beyond your fingertips here. And then you can pull your seat back towards that left heel. They won't, or maybe they touch. Mine, I can't draw, I draw it back, right? But I'm more focused on that sensation in the inner right thigh. So it's just even a slight rocking back, less about how far your seat goes towards your heel. And then if you want, you can drop the head and soften something. And if you need to soften that right knee, soften the knee. If you need to rock back forward a bit, rock back forward. Stay, full breath in. Full exhale out. So nice. And then you'll rock back. And then start to plant that foot down on the ground. So your toes are still facing now the long edge of your mat. And you can start to maybe reach your left hand out to the side here. And then we'll thread the needle. So your left hand can reach towards your right toes, like, but they don't have to meet, right? But you're just gonna reach over towards your right. And then maybe your left temple or ear comes to the ground. Now, I like to tent the right hand. So this feels like maybe a lot to get into, but once you're there, you can tent the right hand to then bend the elbow and let the elbow stack right on top of that right wrist. And if you want an added stretch in the upper back, maybe start to think about leaning away, leaning the back of your heart away from your left hand. Almost like you're spinning your chest up towards where the ceiling might meet the wall you're looking at. And it can be completely restorative where you just like melt towards the ground, or it can be a little more active. Let it be your choice. 2 rounds of breath in and out. One more full inhale. Ease on your exhale. And you'll bring your hand to a place where you can feel it support you. And you'll slowly start to come back up to long arms. So nice. And then if you want a little movement of cat-cow here in the spine, you can take it. It's just like you have one leg out, a little bit of a variation. Awesome. And then bring your right knee to meet your left. Start to just like walk yourself back towards the front of your mat. Take your knees a little wider apart. Your big toes can come towards one another, and you can then take your child's pose, Balasana. If you want to grab a pillow, maybe a block under your forehead, whichever works for you. Just taking a moment to pause. If you'd like to close your eyes, close your eyes. And just take this moment to really return to your breath and return towards that intention or that word that you brought to mind. Making that effort, that conscious effort to bring in a little bit more of that with your next inhale. Finding ease on your exhale. Two more rounds of breath, just like that. In and out. Last one. And of course, again, you can stay here as long as you need to. Or whenever you're ready, remove any props you might have. Open the eyes, come back to tabletop just for a moment. Maybe it's lateral movement you need here, side to side, creating a like C shape. And start to walk your hands up your thighs. And taking that all on the other side, you'll step your left foot forward. And find a stable lunge. So it doesn't have to be the deepest stretch here, or taking your hips forward, not like the deepest lunge you've ever taken. You can just find a space where your front foot feels grounded enough to then reach your arms up and overhead. Now, this time it's your left hand that will create like almost like a bracelet here, like grab onto your right wrist and then make that letter O by bending the elbows. And then keeping a hold of your wrist, just tip the torso over to the left. So nice. And then you'll start to rise up here. Bring your hands to your left thigh just for support. Maybe even wiggle walk that left foot, front foot in a little. And then your back foot will come over towards the left. And then you'll start to create that modified warrior two. So face the long edge of your mat, arms out long here. And you get to reverse. Left hand will reach up. And then left forearm to your left thigh. Your arm can come alongside your ear, or maybe just think about reaching that right hand straight up. Maybe bend the elbow, whatever feels like it opens something or creates space in your body. One more full breath in here. And then back to long arms like warrior two. Now you get to send both hands in front of you, straight in front of you from your shoulders, still facing the long edge of your mat. You'll drop those hands down, right? So then take that left leg long. This is where your heel stays down, your toes stay up. You'll rock the weight forward just a bit and then start to pull your seat back. You can drop the chest down to your degree. You might notice that like intensifies the sensation in that inner thigh. Just find what it is, that space where you feel like, again, you're creating space, and then revisit your breath in and out. Two more right here to soften in. Ease on your exhale. Last round, in and out. And then you'll slowly come back forward, bring both hands down. And then your foot will stamp flat on the ground with your left toes then facing the side of your mat. Now your left hand can stay, your right arm, reach it out to the side here. And then you get to thread the needle. So reach your right hand towards the space right above your left toes. And now it's your left ear or your left temple that will come down towards the ground. So like so. And then you can take that left hand to a place that feels stable, of course. Once you find that space, you can even close your eyes or just soften your gaze so you can lessen maybe the distractions around you. If that feels like a little too constricting, soften a bit, and then maybe come back to long arms. Do have one more breath wherever you've landed. So nice. And then coming back up to support in those long arms, you'll bring your left knee to meet the right. And then just walk yourself back forward onto tabletop. Take a round of cat cow if you need it. And then find your way to a seat. So you'll swing your legs around and give them a little bit of a shake. Sitting up nice and tall, and take the soles of your feet together, your knees out wide for Baddha Konasana. You can hold on to your feet here, maybe even just give yourself a little bit of a massage on your feet. So taking your thumbs and just gliding them along the arches of your feet. Again, another opportunity just to create a little bit of space. And then sit up nice and tall. Maybe holding onto your knees, your shins. Take a breath in right here. Maybe lift your chin, lift your face. And then as you exhale, come back to neutral. Take your legs behind you. And so if you have a pillow or a block or props that you know you want for Shavasana when you're lying down, have those handy. And then you'll slowly make your way down towards the ground here. Once you're there, bring your hands to your torso and start to bend your knees, plant your feet just a little bit wider than your seat. And start to knock your knees together. Again, just observe your breath. So if you can close your eyes. And just observe the rise and the fall that happens. And we just breathe as we typically would, with not so much manipulation, right? And take a breath in and out. And we're going to increase that capacity with a little bit of what we call samavriti breathing. So breathing in for 3. Breathing out for 3. Taking a few rounds of that, breathing in for 3, 2, 1. Breathing out, 3, 2, 1. Take a few more on your own. So your count of 3. In both directions. And on your next exhale, see if you can get completely empty here. Let your next inhale be just a little bit bigger. Breathe all the way in. And then you get to open up your mouth. Let out that slow exhale. Maybe it's audible, like a sigh. And then just take a normal breath in, nice and easy in. and out. So nice. And of course, if this feels like exactly where your body wants to land and rest and stay, you can stay right here. If you'd like just a little bit more movement, you can take your arms down along your sides and just separate the knees a bit. And then a little gentle twist, so letting both knees fall over to the right. And back up through center. And then over to the left. And back through center. And if you'd like, you can bring your knees towards your armpits for a modified happy baby pose. Maybe even roll the ankles, fan out the toes here. If you'd like to grab a hold of the feet, by all means, you can. And take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, let your legs go long. If you'd like to prop yourself up with anything that you have, maybe cover yourself with a blanket, maybe a pillow under your head, whatever allows you to release, to soften, and just to relax a little bit more. And then if it helps, take that big breath in right here, almost like your biggest one yet. And then a huge exhale. Open your mouth, big sigh out to let everything soften and release. And just bring your awareness to your toes, the bottom of your feet, and your ankles, your lower leg, your knees, your thighs, to your hips. Allow that all to soften, release, and relax. Bring your awareness to your belly, to your chest, to your shoulders, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, the center of your palm, and even the tips of your fingers. Allow them to soften, to release, and to relax. Bring your awareness to your neck, of your throat, the muscles of your jaw, to the features of your face, and even the muscles in the forehead, the way up to the crown of your head. Allow them to soften, to release, and to relax. Letting every part from your toes to the top of your head and in the space of softening, releasing, and relaxing. And just bring your awareness back to your breath. You might even start to let the breath build back up. So every breath is just a little bit bigger, a little more full than the last. And just start to rock your head ever so gently, side to side. When you're ready, start to bend your knees just enough to then roll onto the side of your choice. And you'll press yourself up to a seat. When you're there, you can sit up just a little bit taller. Maybe placing one hand in the center of your chest, maybe the other on top of that. And even bow your chin towards that space. And taking a moment to honor yourself for creating space in your day to make and create a little more space in your breath, a little more space in your body. And come back to that word, back to that intention. And take a breath in and out. You can stay here if it feels right. Bring your hands together and lift your thumb tips to the center of your forehead. Maybe even lift your chin, lift your face. Remembering that no effort is ever wasted.